What is everybody? Daniel Reichs here, back in on a video. 2006 year in review continues with WWE's The Royal Rumble. Edge, once when he cashed in successfully on John Cena to become the WWE champion, he celebrated the only way he knew how. Not by celebrating with his family or celebrating it with his fans or celebrating it with another wrestler like his best friend. No. Edge didn't celebrate it with his fans or Christian or his mom. No. He celebrated by the only way a rated R star could. By fucking his girlfriend. And I got to commend WWE and I got to thank WWE for having this weird, bizarre moment, because when I was 12 years old and I saw this moment, oh baby, my God, and I got to see Lita and her tit plop out of that bed. I didn't know that they were going to go that far, to which that they were topless and naked, or maybe she wasn't all the way naked, like she still had her bottom on, but she was definitely topless. She definitely was topless. I had to record that and rewound that forwards and backwards 100 times over. I think I broke my TiVo. You remember TiVo? Yeah, I think I broke that a bunch of times. Good Lord, thank you so much for that. But anyways, Edge is the WWE champion. He says he's not going to be a traditional champion. Well, we'll have to find out. Rey Mysterio is dedicating this Royal Rumble match to his late passing friend in Eddie Guerrero. I guess he's special and he gets to do this and not Benoit or Psychosis or Super Crazy or Chavo fucking Guerrero, but, you know, Rey Mysterio can. Why the hell not? Trish Stratus, she's locked in this rivalry with Mickie James. She is petrified of Mickie James because Mickie James wants to fuck her. And maybe not just fuck her, maybe she wants to kidnap her and do some brutal things to her. I don't fucking know what's going on during that psychotic bitch's mind at this point in time, but there you have it. All right, we start off with the six-pack challenge for the Cruiserweight Championship. Actually, it's not a six-pack challenge. It is a opening invitational six-man Texas Tornado sudden death rules match for the Cruiserweight Championship. That is how it's pronounced by Tony Schimmel. I don't know why it's called that. It's a six-pack challenge. So you have Funaki and Jamie Noble. You have Kid Cash, the Cruiserweight champion. You have Paul London in there. And then there's a sixth person in there, and that's Gregory Helms from Raw. Guess who takes the pinfall? It's Funaki. Of course he was going to take the pinfall. Who else wouldn't? Gregory Helms wins the Cruiserweight Championship, and even though he took an embarrassing loss from Jerry Lawler, and even though he's no longer the Hurricane, and even though he gave all that up just to be Gregory Helms with the shades and the sunglasses, you can tell he's a bad guy because of the shades and the infamous Titantron where he just tilts his head and the sunglasses shit. He is the new Cruiserweight champion, and he holds on to it for about 13 months in a really impressive run. I give this match only a 5 out of 10. It was 7.5 minutes. Not that great of a match. Honestly, when it comes down to it, in my personal opinion, it goes the WCW Cruiserweights, then the TNA X Division, and then the WWE SmackDown Cruiserweights. Then I don't know if the modern today's Cruiserweight of the Raw is better or worse than the light heavyweight division. But at this point in time right now, I think they're neck and neck. Maybe the Raw Cruiserweight division today is better, but I don't fucking know. The light heavyweight still had Dean Malenko. Then again, it had Gilbert. So I don't know. But again, it goes WCW Cruiserweights, TNA X Division, then the SmackDown Cruiserweights, and then tied between the light heavyweights and the Raw cruiserweights of today. Anyways, 5 out of 10. Next up, Mickie James defeats Ashley in a pretty shitty match. Ashley was horrible. She was hot, but goddamn, she couldn't wrestle her way out of a paper bag. She was garbage. She delivers one of the worst spears I have ever fucking seen in my life. And when she delivers the spear, she automatically got booed in Albany, in New York. Or, my bad, Miami. She got booed so badly in Miami that it was insanity. Mickie James thankfully wins this match. Also, Trish Stratus is the special guest referee. And Mickie James is celebrating, hugging Trish Stratus, kissing her, and saying all these provocative things. She definitely has her eyes lust for Trish Stratus, if you will. 2 out of 10, pretty shitty. Ashley was garbage, but my God, her titties were graceful. Okay, next up, The Boogeyman, the debut pay-per-view match of The Boogeyman. He defeats the former WWE champion in John Bradshaw Layfield. A pretty big squash match. It only lasted about 100 seconds, I think. Wasn't very good of a squash. Boogeyman, he gets Jillian Hall on her back, and he slips down, warms down her cleavage area, down her skirt, on her face. This is after he ate that gigantic mole on her face. And I remember seeing him eating the mole on her face, and it was so disgusting and cool at the same time. Anyways, Boogeyman wins. And that's all I have to say about that. 1 out of 10, just a squash match. Surprisingly enough, the Royal Rumble match is next. Not the main event. It's on the middle of the show. I don't understand why, but I guess maybe they thought the Royal Rumble match winner, which is Rey Mysterio, by the way, maybe he just isn't good enough to close a pay-per-view. I don't think Rey Mysterio actually ever main evented a pay-per-view. Even the SmackDown pay-per-view said he was supposed to main event. I think Undertaker mostly main evented those shows. Could be wrong, but we'll see to find out. The 2006 Royal Rumble match is right here. It's a good Royal Rumble match. There's some fine moments in here. There's a lot of Iron Man superstars, meaning that a lot of superstars lasted a long time. But that doesn't happen until after the 10th spot. The number 1 and number 2 is Triple H and Rey Mysterio. Both men last over 60 minutes. Triple H lasts 60 minutes and 16 seconds, breaking the record, but not becoming the longest. He is not the longest entrant, but he is the longest. He is the superstar that lasted the longest, but did not win the Royal Rumble match, beating Kane from 2001 with 55 minutes. He had 16. Rey Mysterio lasted the longest, breaking the all-time longevity record that Benoit held 2 years prior. He got it with 62-12. He wins the 2006 Royal Rumble match. He is moving on to WrestleMania 22, last eliminating Randy Orton, who drew number 30, of course. The Final Four, Rey Mysterio, Triple H, Rob Van Dam, and Randy Orton. That's a pretty good Final Four. Rey Mysterio, World Heavyweight Champion, will win the World Heavyweight Championship. Randy Orton, former World Champion. Triple H, former World Champion. Rob Van Dam will become and win the WWE Championship later on in the year. All 4 men had a good 2006 year. Rey Mysterio wins it all, though. Couple other cool moments. As I said, entrants 3 through 10, however, did not last past 5 minutes, except the Big Show, who lasted 9 minutes. Booker T lasted the shortest with only 18 seconds. The reason why was, I'm guessing he was still injured, because at this point in time, he had this big best of 7 series with Chris Benoit in the United States Championship. he could not finish the best of 7 series with Benoit. Instead, he had to ask Randy Orton a favor. And if Randy Orton defeated Chris Benoit for the United States Championship, Booker T would be the United States Champion, and he would have to owe Randy Orton a favor. By the way, Randy Orton is still owed a favor from Booker T. That is one of the biggest storylines that has never been, that has never come to a conclusion. So Booker T still owes Randy Orton a favor. That's hilarious. It's like, who was raising the briefcase at King of the Ring 1999? And so on and so forth. Who's behind GTV? And so many other cool ones. Well, Booker T still owes Randy Orton a favor. I still remember, by the way. There's another one for you. You have the random ass returns of Road Warrior Animal and Tatanka. Tatanka. He randomly returns. Tatanka. Do you remember Tatanka? As I said, with longevity, 2 men lasting 60 minutes. You also had 3 men in Carlito, Benoit, and Joey Mercury, of all people, lasting 30 minutes apiece, which is pretty crazy. They were pushing Carlito and Masters as well, pretty fucking strong. So there's no surprise there with Carlito lasting 35 plus minutes, honestly. Other than the longevity of all these superstars, there isn't really any other cool moments going on. There's some weird, funny, hilarious moments like Goldust eliminating himself because he oversells and hilariously oversells Rob Van Dam's spin wheel kick. So fucking funny, it's hilarious. Other than the longevities of Rey Mysterio and Triple H, there isn't really anything else going for this Rumble match. Rey Mysterio winning the Royal Rumble match, though, is pretty goddamn cool and is very special. He is the second man only to win from number 2 spot, lasting the longest, breaking the record with 62-12. And I don't think anyone anytime soon will beat 62-12. Well, maybe Roman Reigns will. Hey, he did last 60 minutes 1 year, so maybe Roman Reigns will break the longevity record as well. Anyways, Rey Mysterio wins the Royal Rumble match. He dedicated it to Eddie Guerrero. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's not the greatest Rumble match, but it's far from the worst. Other than the longevities, though, there's not a whole lot going on for this Rumble. I give it a 7 because it's still the Royal Rumble match, and the Royal Rumble match is still my favorite overall gimmick match. I love the Royal Rumble match so much so. 7 out of 10. Not my personal favorite one, though. Next up, John Cena defeats Edge and proves once and for all Edge is a transitional champion to recapture for the second time his WWE Championship. Hey, yo, you remember the time when John Cena was only like a 2-time WWE champion? Well, Pepper's Farm remembers. Edge was only champion for 3 weeks. And it kind of pissed me off back in the day. Kind of really pissed me off back in the day because here is Edge, a guy who went through so much in his career, a guy who has overcame so much from wrestling Booker T in a random Japanese shampoo commercial in his hometown in WrestleMania in Toronto to overcome a neck surgery to overcome a neck injury that sat him out for 2 WrestleManias in a row to come back and win the WWE Championship only to lose it 3 weeks later is bullshit. Edge should have been the WWE Champion, at least heading in to WrestleMania 22, and then maybe doing a triple threat match. I digress, however. John Cena recaptures the WWE Championship. It's not that good of a match. They've had way better matches than this. Unforgiven, when I talk about it, is spectacular and probably is their best match. This is just probably one of their worser matches. It's still a fine match, but Edge losing pisses me off to high hell. A 6 out of 10. Then we close Warrior Rumble, not with the Rumble match because Rey Mysterio is not good enough to main event, but rather we end with Kurt Angle defeating Mark Henry to retain his World Heavyweight Championship in one of the most boring main events I've ever fucking seen. Okay, so before I dive into this match, Kurt Angle won a 20-man battle royale to win the vacated World Heavyweight Championship. Batista, the current world title holder, had to vacate it due to injuries, which really fucking sucked for Batista. Kurt Angle from Raw jumped over, got the title, wins, last eliminated Mark Henry. This leads to this match. This match is so boring. Nothing really cool happens in this match. You think with Kurt Angle and being such an athletic Olympian, probably when you get down to it, he is probably the most technically sound, probably pound for pound, the greatest wrestler, in-ring competitor of all time. In my opinion, it's Kurt Angle, it's Ricky Steamboat, neck and neck. I don't know, with all due respect, I don't know who would be better between Kurt Angle, Ricky Steamboat, and even Shawn Michaels. Those are the three I would say are the ultimately the best. Kurt Angle, Ricky Steamboat, and Shawn Michaels. I don't know who's best of the three, but Kurt Angle's pretty fucking good. And Mark Henry is a good, big, strong guy. You would think this match would be great, like maybe a Sting versus Vader. This could be a sleeper hit. Sting versus Vader were always good, but these two guys just suck together. Kurt Angle could not make magic out of Mark Henry. And Mark Henry, good God almighty, what the fuck were they thinking pushing him once again? How many times did they push Mark Henry and never got the end result that they needed? Fortunately enough for Mark Henry, they threw him a bone one last time in 2011, and that time it worked. Thank God for that. But this time around, this match was boring as piss. 3 out of 10, and that's being incredibly generous. Undertaker comes out on a white horse for some reason. He lifts up his arms in the air, and then lightning bolt strikes the ring posts. I guess he's Kane now, except instead of fire, it's lightning. And the ring collapses, and he signals that he wants the World Heavyweight Championship. Not sure why he wasn't in the Royal Rumble match. Not sure why he's not facing Kurt Angle here, but I guess this was his return. Although he just returned from Survivor Series the year prior. I don't understand that. But Undertaker wants the World Heavyweight Championship, and that's how we end the Royal Rumble. During the end of the Kurt Angle Mark Henry match, a lot of people were filing out of the arena. It was a very, very piss poor, boring ass fucking match. Anyways, overall, 2006 Royal Rumble is a very piss poor show overall. Very subpar. The Royal Rumble match itself is probably right square in the middle. It's not phenomenal. It's not shitty. It's not like 2001 or 1992 or even 2007, which had phenomenal, incredible talent and had so many incredible storylines, had so many incredible moments, but it's not piss poor and shitty like 1993 or 99 or 2015, where it's just boring, it's very predictable, and it's just very lackluster in star power and lackluster in moments. Just there, honestly. Yes, it's cool Rey Mysterio won, but I digress. John Cena beating Edge and Edge losing the championship pisses me off still to this day even. And there you have it. The world title match was boring as piss. Ashley sucks hard. And there you go. 2006 Royal Rumble gets a 4 out of 10. And I'll catch you next time for WWE SmackDown with No Way Out. For TNA, I do have Against All Odds to review. And I catch you next time for 2006 Year in Review. Catch ya. Goodbye.